And welcome back to Channel KRT, where today we'll be holding a support group for people who have been hooked on the brothers. I'm Tyler Green.
Princess Toadstool, you're awfully something. I'm Kit Narence's Bliss Squid.
Hell yeah.
I'm Captain Randall Martin, and kids, don't get hooked on the brothers, because if you get hooked on the brothers, you go to hell before you die.
Everyone always forgets the important part. There's like a 3-second pause after he says that, and then he just really sad goes, please.
Just both of you to assume we're not already in hell before we die.
If you're not listening to Channel KRT, I'm going to turn you into a Goomba.
Yes.
Again, both of you to assume I'm not a Goomba.
And welcome back to the Second Timers Club, Charlotte Driftwood and Ray the Princess Knight.
Hi.
Charlotte Driftwood, you're on our podcast again.
May I say, hey, yo, Mario.
It just occurred to me that ignorance is bliss is very much in line with Skull Crusher Mountain.
It is.
So anyways, today we're talking about another Nintendo property, and we're also talking about a series of episodes, technically, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, specifically the live-action segments.
Which is something that we teased the last time you guys were on specifically.
Oh, and you know, the foreshadowing, I waded through the cartoon and now we're at the conclusion to this terrible live-action segment. I hope we see the best Mario brother, Edison Mario, who lives in their walls and is made of a mop or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what Edison is, and I'm too afraid to ask.
I hope we see great clips from the next Legend of Zelda episode.
Well, stay tuned at the end of this podcast for some exciting clips from this week's Legend of Zelda. But
Also, quick pun I gotta make. We don't talk about Edison Mario, no.
Stay tuned for clips from the next exciting episode of Escape from Walt Disney.
Edison Mario is the man boarded up within the wall in the Weird Al show.
I mean, yeah.
So,
Anyway.
for listeners who aren't acquainted in all the sick Edison lore, Edison is possibly their roommate, possibly their brother, possibly a monster that lives in their walls. He might be a mop, or he might have grown his hair over his eyes, or he might be Cousin It, and he's voiced by Maurice LaMarche, like someone else might be today.
Yeah, that's right.
Foreshadowing.
But speaking of the cutting up by putting a trailer for a different cartoon here, first, I gotta say, if you're watching the Mario live actions and you're wondering why there's a trailer for the Zelda cartoon, the answer is fascinating and terrible. In the future, instead of television being transmitted through magic waves in the sky, it'll come through wires. So, before the advent of cable, your shows would air in major networks, which meant places within a radio signal of a major U.S. or what have you city. But then if it got syndicated, you could get shown to smaller networks. And to get syndicated is 65 episodes for a cartoon and 100 episodes for a live action show. Partially because this was airing at the same time as the Disney Afternoon, 1989 weekdays, and partially because DiC is a company founded on cost cutting. The CEO is from New York City, Andy Hayward, but he started the company in Canada because Canada doesn't have unions for crew. And
So they're a bunch of DiC heads, if you will.
yeah. Da, 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 da. Dick. Basically, every episode has a theme song. This is to mirror a programming block because Disney Afternoon was their competition. Each episode will start with a theme song, have the opening to a live action segment, have a second theme song with the exact same melody, have an animated segment that doesn't have to be 22 minutes because they've put all this other filler in there, and instead is 11 minutes, and then have part of the conclusion to the live action cut up by a Zelda trailer, and then the rest of the conclusion of the live action. And if this is confusing, that's either because I explained it wrong, or because you haven't heard my helpful mnemonic. You've heard of machete order. Get ready for the Super Show viewing order of Star Wars. Are you ready?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so the implication of the live actions is that they take place in Brooklyn before Mario and Luigi got isekai'd into the Mushroom Kingdom.
Wow, yeah.
That means we're watching a prequel broken up by its sequel, and here we go. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So, we start episode 1, The Phantom Menace, okay? And that We continue through Phantom Menace. The pod race is about to start, right? We'll be right back with Star Wars. Then, episode 4, A New Hope. We watch the entirety of episode 4. And then we come back. The pod race is over. We miss the action. Too expensive to film. The movie continues. Darth Maul takes his lightsaber out. He takes, what's this? A second half of his lightsaber out. Duel of the Fates starts playing. But we'll be right back after these exciting scenes from Raiders of the Lost Ark, because it has to be a similar property by the same company that has more of an adventure-y aspect. Listen, I've thought this through. And then after the Raiders trailer, fucking Qui-Gon's dead. We didn't see the fight because that's too expensive to film. That's how every episode of the Mario cartoon is. On the Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, because this aired every weekday so they could burn this out before the 80s ended. The last episode aired December 1st, 1989, because, like, this shit will not fly in the 90s.
Literally.
So on Fridays, to also cheat and get around not wanting to make that much content, they have a separate, unrelated Zelda cartoon taking the place of the animated segment, still confusingly with a Mario live-action wraparound. And those ones in the live actions, they would usually save for the bigger guests because more people would be watching because, like, they didn't have homework. It was the weekend, you know? So that's why you'll probably have seen some screenshots on Twitter of Luigi standing next to Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm surprised none of us chose the Elvira episode.
I actually spoke against the big guest episodes because I think those are scripted. I think they're trying to play nice for the famous people because Andy Hayward is a businessman with no soul.
Yeah.
Versus the regular weekday episodes that not everyone will see and they never intended to air again are completely improvised, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, no, once I say that, everything about them clicked. So I was actually telling people, don't go with too many of the big guest episodes. We want to dig into the fucking pipes and pull out all that shit and toilet paper.
You can tell that some of the shorts that we talk about today are improvised by the way that some of them end. And by that, I mean that they have no ending.
Yeah.
The general Deke rule is when the closing time clock on the wall rings, the episode is done. It doesn't matter if you wrote a conclusion or not. That's, listen, this is for children.
Listen, they have to imagine the conclusion.
They will. And they also have to check out these exciting scenes from this week's Legend.
It's funny because going into my history a little with the show, so the big years for me for a Mario hyperfixation were 2009 through 2011 because that's when all the imports for the Wii were coming in because...
Did you just miss the year of Luigi or did you catch the tail end of it then?
I thankfully caught the year of Luigi.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yes. 2013 was the year. I was on Tumblr then, so absolutely. But yeah, I remember those being my big Mario hyperfixation years as well as my brothers, so...
Your brothers!
The brothers.
I got hooked on my brothers.
You hooked your brother on it.
So then our parents got us a DVD of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show they managed to find at Ross, and I think that's where we also managed to find the original Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon DVDs as well as Sonic Underground on DVD.
Oh yeah, no, Sonic Underground on DVDs is also part of me and Ray's origin story.
Hell yeah.
I just remembered something. I had a DVD of this specific Mario show, and it was 4 episodes, and it was all the movie parodies.
Yeah, that's right. That might have been the one that we owned.
Including the one where they forgot to animate a face on Indiana Jones.
No, they did not forget to. The story is much fucking funnier than that.
How does it get funnier than you forgot the face?
I was actually briefly writing a musical based on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show that never saw the light of day, but now I have all this research in my brain. So I actually have the actual answer to that. In Raiders of the Lost Mushroom is, of course, the episode. It said in this, by the way, if Indiana Jones sounds like he can't voice act, that's Andy Hayward, the CEO.
Of course.
So in the script, it just has, he is drawn like a caricature of Harrison Ford. Now, the problem with that being, as Carrie Fisher famously said, every time I look in the mirror, I owe George a nickel. Because George Lucas owned the likeness rights to all of his characters, he made sure to do that. So their plan was to delay that episode for later, to air everything else they got, get to that, have their lawyers look into it, figure out what they can and can't do, which is like fine because in cartoons, first it's animated with no one having eyes or a mouth because it's a separate studio that does the lip flaps and the blinking, or not separate part of the studio. If you look like really closely on cartoons from this era, you could see there's a little less film grain because it's one less generation of tape on the eyes and mouth. Famously, like that's why Hanna-Barbera always has a collar on the characters, or why Fred Flintstone has stubble, or Homer Simpson has stubble. That was a normal state to have that episode in. One of the episodes we're talking about today, Captain Lou is Missing, is obviously intended as the conclusion, as the transition from the Mario persona to his wrestling persona. Also, there's an animated segment clearly intended as the conclusion, which is Flatbush Koopa, in which King Koopa takes over Brooklyn, and to defeat him, they destroy the pipe, but then ruin their ability of ever getting home. And that's obviously supposed to be the final moment of the series. The last week those aired the penultimate week. The last week was all film parodies. And knowing what we know about Indiana Jones, that meant that was stuff their lawyers were saving for later and that just did not get to before December rolled around.
Oh my god.
Yeah, oh my god.
Imagine if they actually had the ending of Flatbush Koopa, where they do go to Brooklyn at the end.
With Captain Lou is Missing, it would have been perfect. But like Flatbush Koopa aired. It's a real episode. You could check it.
And of course, you gotta get the King Koopa's Cool Cartoons Koopa in there, you know?
King Koopa's Cool Cartoons. Don't think too hard about what the acronym is. Famously canceled. The live action actor was fucking the guy who got fired from The Simpsons because he was a dick, Christopher Collins, Starscream, who was Mr. Burns in his first appearance. He was the first live-action Koopa, and then he gets switched out for Pat Penny, Painty the Pirate from the SpongeBob theme song.
Oh, yeah.
And it's unclear if this was why Christopher got fired or why the show got canceled, but a major moment that affected King Koopa's Cool Cartoons, which was, by the way, only in the Los Angeles area, and it was like the programming block that introduced the programming in the local Los Angeles version of NBC or whatever. A major scandal was when Koopa doxed a child on air.
No, God!
I remember hearing about this.
Yes, Koopa received a letter that says, I don't like Koopa, he's scary, don't put him on TV. And he says, well, in the end, it doesn't really matter what you say about me. Then he holds up the envelope to the camera, because I know where you live! And then, boop, technical difficulty. Right back.
This week, Koopa will be played by Roger Ebert.
How hilarious. How highly, highly humorous.
When I was younger, I was like, I don't want to watch the live action segments. I want to get to the cartoon. The cartoon's cool. And then as an adult, I'm like, I want to watch the live action segments. I mean, the cartoon itself can be funny out of context, but it's kind of...
Well, by the way, if you've watched an out of context video of the cartoon, that was mine. I made that. If you look up Super Mario Bros. Super Show out of context, those are mine. Yeah. I have mixed feelings on it. My opinion is Danny Wells and Captain Lou kind of suck at voice acting. They're pretty flat in the cartoons.
I'd say it's not so much that they suck at voice acting, but the direction isn't great.
The voice direction's awful, because I know there's one episode where they're in Mexico Land during the Zorro parody. I'm in Mexico Land right now.
Good. I'm sure this is not racist at all.
No, so the line in the script was clearly, how do you like that tortilla, comma, Koopa? And Captain Lou, who is, by the way, at the time the show started, 56 years old, and, also has been hit in the head a lot, as per his profession.
For real? He was 56 doing that?
Oh, yeah, and you could tell the vibe of this show is these Canadian writers are like, so the kids are into middle-aged plumbers from, I guess so. Can we just write about characters we like? And that's why there's episodes where he becomes Zorro, episodes where he becomes Lone Ranger, etc.
Yeah.
The line in the script was clearly, how do you like that tortilla, comma, Koopa? And Captain Lou says, and the voice director lets him move on, say, okay, good enough. Captain Lou says, how do you like that tortilla, Koopa?
Yeah, you can tell this show was kind of at the tail end of the big Filmation, Hanna-Barbera era, where everything was kind of made mostly for money rather than because people actually wanted to make a cartoon.
Actually, Deke sowed the seeds of their own downfall. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, the main competition for this was the Disney Afternoon, which was largely animated by Japanese studios. Especially Tokyo Movie Shinja, TMS. Inspector Gadget and Real Ghostbusters look way better than most 80s cartoons. And that's because Andy Hayward, a pioneer of not charging people what they're worth by traveling the globe, was like the first white guy to like say, hey, can we just hire TMS to do something? They probably charge less than any studio here.
Yeah.
And that's how Disney heard about them and got them to do DuckTales and shit. So the reason the cartoon looks like shit is because they gave free advertising to TMS and their competitor hired them for more money and priced them out of it. And then right after that, Spielberg hired TMS for Tiny Toons Animaniacs and priced Disney out of it.
Yeah.
And then, by the time Pinky and the Brain rolled around, only the theme song and the Christmas episode are TMS because they started to be able to charge normal human amounts of, like, they're the fucking Lupin the Third, they're the fucking Captain Nemo the Dream Master studio. Why the fuck could Andy fucking Hayward afford them?
Yeah. Which is ironic because Disney owned Deke for a time, and that's how they released both Meet the Deedles and Inspector Gadget the movie, which both classics.
Which implies that at one point in a singular room was Andy Hayward, Michael Eisner, and Jeffrey Katzenberg. And I bet if you went with a Geiger counter to that room, you could still sense the evil emanating from it.
So yeah, as I grew up, especially as more out of context clips began to get around and the show became more and more of a meme, I began to really appreciate the live action segments more because, like, on paper, they're not like the best things ever written.
Written in quotes.
Because of the really damn good acting by both Captain Lou Albano and Danny Wells, they just managed to really make these work and give it such a fun, charming energy.
I have a theory about that. I've said improv is about making your friends funnier. I think Captain Lou is lost here. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's kind of struggling to keep track of what's going on. And Danny Wells is such a consummate fucking professional that the audience never has to notice.
Absolutely, yeah.
Danny Wells was the bartender on The Jeffersons, seasoned sitcom actor. And honestly, watching him in the live actions command a stage that has not been planned or probably safety maintained, it's like, why was this guy not a fucking movie star?
Well, don't say that because he was in Gus. Yes, that Gus,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Disney
that.
field-kicking mule Gus.
No, sure. He left us at the tail end of the Year of Luigi, and I think,
man. Yeah, what a way to go out, honestly.
yeah, I think, who the fuck is Tom Cruise is my opinion. We're about Danny Wells here.
Hell yeah.
You don't even, you're glib.
I will say that it was kind of bittersweet that I really began to get into the show around the time that Captain Lou Albano passed away.
2009.
So I remember just discovering it, being like, oh my god, this guy is so cool. I wonder where he is now. Oh, then I was just sad.
I figured he was dead. I just didn't know what year it was. And of course, it was the year everyone fucking died.
Yeah.
So yeah, that about wraps up my history. And like I said, this show is just beautifully bizarre, beautifully dated.
Did you notice the fucking scarecrow puppet that's just hanging around in their tomatoes?
Yeah.
I don't think that thing's ever fucking moved.
When I saw that, I was shocked. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're gonna put the water in the Woody? Is that Woody?
Yeah, it looks like Woody.
Hey, who's got my hat?
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Get the fuck out of my house.
It does move. It doesn't talk. It does scream at the top of its lungs a couple of episodes.
Oh, that's good. That's not terrifying at all.
I'm just fully expecting at some point the camera to just pan over it, and it says,
Don't look at me. I'm irrelevant.
Needs more edge.
There's the Scarecrow, there's Edison, which we talked about. They have all of these, like, characters for this live action segments that they just never properly utilized.
I love this era where everything looked like Pee-wee's Playhouse. I love when we just went nuts with sets and just gave a bunch of cool background stuff.
It's a gorgeous set, obviously influenced by Pee-wee's Playhouse. Hey, appropriate given who sings the theme song, am I right?
All right, so I'll get into my history. So one of the few good things about being an unsupervised child on the internet was that I was able to go on websites for kids that had, like really fun stuff for kids to check out. And one of them was a a site on Yahoo that was like hosting full episodes of Deep cartoons, and this was one of them. So I got to like witness this show firsthand, watch it, and be like, wait, so there was a live action Mario in the 80s and the cartoon too? Holy shit. And I just like remember just watching the fuck out of this show as a kid, like in like the mid 2000s, and then like, you know, revisiting it as an adult. I'm like, wow, yeah, the live action shorts are much better than the cartoon, quite honestly. They just have like this really goofy charm, and I know we're going to be praising them left and right, but I just love the chemistry between Danny Wells and Captain Lou Albano.
Absolutely.
Yes, they read as brothers. One of them is born in Rome, one of them is born in Toronto, but like, you look at them together and you're like, no, they're related. Don't lie to me.
I will say that during 4th of July weekend, me, friend of the show, Andy HG, and a couple of our friends were getting together, and I told them we were doing this episode. So just for shits and giggles, we put on like a compilation of every live action short, and it was actually just fun to just have everybody in the room riff on them. And my friends' kids were even like paying attention and getting something out of it.
Yeah.
I love that you watched every live action and did not know the puppet talked. That's kind of the level of madness we're going to be dealing with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And also, I gotta say that as much as I do love little guy Mario that we have now, I do kind of miss the era when they kind of gave him this kind of no-nonsense personality that he got with both Captain Lou Albano and Bob Hoskins.
Well, he's irregular. I don't approve of my men delivering funds for the IRA.
Do you know someone that owns a gun or a knife?
In the Captain Lou is Missing short, you know, he goes into this deeper kind of tough guy voice, baby, when he's Captain Lou, and he's got a much softer voice for Mario, so I think he is trying to, like, do what Charles Martinet later perfected and, like, play it softer for the kids.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't need to get into it now since we're sharing histories, but I have a bunch of Captain Lou stories you're gonna love.
Oh, yeah. I will say real quick, I don't know what the idea went into casting him as Mario was, but I am so glad that they did, because he looks the part perfectly, honestly.
Absolutely.
And despite him not knowing what he's doing at the time, he is a great fucking Mario.
Well, the way they make that work in the live actions is they just make Mario the stupid one of the two brothers. So if, like, he seems confused, it's just played off as the character is confused. Versus in the animated, strangely, Luigi is written as the stupid one.
It's weird that Mario is supposed to be the dumb one, because it's fucking Mario, the title character and hero.
Yeah.
But his career started when Italians were not considered white. And so, like, his first wrestling persona was definitely a racist caricature, but, like, it's a gig, you know?
Yeah.
So, and Mario's still that. So they're kind of a match made in heaven. But as for how him and Deke found each other, there is a cartoon prior to this called Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
Rest in piss, bozo.
I've eaten so many Hulkaroos and Hulkayoos. Me fucking heart stop.
Captain Lou is a character in the show, not voiced by Captain Lou. I think at some point he was just like, hey, I'm available. Why don't you hire me, baby?
If I'm not mistaken, Hulk Hogan was voiced by Brad Garrett?
The reason Brad Garrett is in so many animated films is because he was a voice actor for, like, 15 fucking years before Everybody Loves Raymond made him famous.
Yeah, he was actually recently in Elio as well.
Yeah, that's right.
He still knows what he's doing. He still remembers how to do his old day job.
Damn straight. And yeah, there was a lot of great talent involved in this show, but we'll get more into it as we talk about the segments.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so Randy, how about you?
So, you know, aside from the DVD we had, the main reason I knew this show was because I also had unsupervised access to the internet, but I was watching YouTube poop.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah, same. There's a specific YouTube poop, which is a YTP of the Magic Johnson episode.
Oh, God. The worst actor of all time. He's fantastic.
Oh, yes, he's horrible.
Hi, I accidentally did a triple-double skyhook alley-oop slam dunk jam on my old high school trophy.
He was also in the Pee-wee special.
Yeah, but no, the point being, there's a running gag where it's just them repeating the line,
Luigi, I'm home!
and unprompted, Kid will text me or I'll text him, Luigi, I'm home!
Yes, it's just a beautiful line out of context.
When we write the Well Abridged Me Princess, our Zelda cartoon abridged series, we real-time found up improvise over the footage of the episodes with everyone playing a different role first. And we just, for like a warm-up and for shits and giggles, do the Mario live actions that paired with that Zelda originally. When we did the Magic Johnson one, a friend of ours, Sean Kitcanon, one of the greatest comedic geniuses you've never heard of, was playing Magic Johnson, and he goes, are you guys Edison's roommates? And I'm like, that's perfect. Like, Edison's the star. Who the fuck are the Mario brothers?
Oh, by the way, for Magic Johnson segments, they don't have him on set with the Mario brothers.
No, he lives in their bathroom mirror, obviously. Where else would Magic Johnson live?
Yeah, it's his pocket dimension.
His scary Magic Johnson dimension inside of their bathroom mirror.
Well, he's actually the magic mirror, who's also the genie from Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson on the wall, who has the biggest Johnson of them all.
Your Johnson is mediocre, and my Johnson is mediocre. Oh!
You know, not the dirtiest joke that not even we'll be making, the show will be making in this episode.
Yeah.
I used to host watch parties of this with my viewers who joined for Gravity Falls videos against their will. And I had friends who like stopped watching because it was so upsetting. I have this, because there's a lot of inappropriate jokes. There's one where Luigi milks a dinosaur and she loves having her nipples pulled on so much that she tries to kiss him.
Oh my god.
What?
So like, I have a theory that the censors hated watching this show and would just be like, yep, you're all approved. We definitely watched it.
A very anime type joke is just all I'm gonna say about it.
Oh my god. It's as if the amount of cream pie mentioned in the Donkey Kong cartoon wasn't insane enough.
Banana cream pie.
Yeah. Pretty much all my lore is a cereal box DVD, a DVD of the movie parodies, and YouTube poop. And apparently Pluto has channels that is nothing but this show 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
As they should. I love that Andy Hayward made this show. There are writers and other people working on it, but like his goal was like, just rush it out. No one will ever see this again. Fuck you, Andy. We're gonna watch this for eternity.
I have way more history with Mario the game than I do Mario the TV character.
Okay. Right.
I have played a lot of Super Mario Galaxy.
Ray, what's your history with this show?
I came over to your house and you showed me some DVDs.
Against your will, yeah.
No, I think I was interested in a Mario cartoon. I don't think it was completely against my will.
Mama Luigi is a meme because it's the most boring episode of the entire franchise. Like, people don't get that. When we were doing the watch parties, they were like, when are we getting a Mama Luigi? And I'm like, don't ask for that.
Yeah, that's not even Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
That's not Captain Lou. That's not my guiding light.
Not my Mario.
Yeah, so the World Show definitely has a series Bible, and each episode has a formula, whereas in Super Show, anything fucking goes, baby.
Hell yeah.
The episode I just talked about where the dinosaur likes having her nipples pulled on, the plot is that they arrive in a new location and Mario immediately dies. No standards, no practices. God is dead. Andy Hayward killed him.
Well, it's not the only person Andy Hayward kills in this, as we'll get to later.
Yeah, no. In a roundabout way, this show, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, is probably why your listeners or any of the hosts here have heard of me.
Oh, of course.
Aww.
Because I host a podcast called Mystery Shack Look Back. It's a nostalgic time capsule and no spoiler book club of the original Gravity Falls fandom. This December, we had Alex Hirsch, Bill Cipher, and Hannah Hyper Fixates on for a 5-hour extravaganza about the Book of Bill.
Hell yeah.
I was inspired to create that because of the fine folks at Talking Simpsons Network.
Oh, hell yeah.
I discovered the Talking Simpsons Network because Henry and Bob guested on an episode of the Hard Drive original podcast, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Now most of it is lost to the annals of history. And we discovered that because Ray found a clip on Twitter of Toad shoving a wrench down his pants.
As he does.
He does. He does that.
You know, sometimes you just want to give yourself testicular torsion, you know?
I'm just making some adjustments, Mario. Give me a sec. So yeah, no, if you have heard of me through podcasts, then you have heard of me because I am obsessed with the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yes.
I didn't even remember that, because I just don't remember this stuff as well as you do.
Listen, if I could make space in my brain for where I put my keys...
Oh, I don't know where I put my keys either.
Oh, that sucks! That's worse than what I have, yes. No, I was about to say, it's a give and take, but no, I'm sorry.
The only reason I know is because I always keep them in the same place. If I move them at all, I will not know where the hell they are.
All right, so similar to the Mickey Shorts episode we did a couple years back, what we did for this specific episode is that between the 5 of us, we each picked our own live-action short to talk about.
And because they provided us with a lot of great knowledge on the show, I'd like to start with Charlie's pick of the shorts, Bonkers from Yonkers.
This takes place in Flatbush, which is a neighborhood in Brooklyn, which is not that close to Yonkers. The title makes no fucking sense at all.
Yeah,
it's a New York word.
It is a New York word. These are mostly Canadian writers. Not that people wrote the live actions. At the beginning of Bonkers from Yonkers, they do a bit where they drop a pipe on Mario's head, and not being particularly good at character improv like this. There's a type of improv that Captain Lou is skilled at. I'll talk about that later. Captain Lou just starts screaming like he has a concussion and forgot words for no reason. And forced to justify this insane choice, the improv master, the late, great thespian Danny Wells, decides he thinks he's a chicken. His scream kind of sounds like a chicken noise. And they bring in Dr. Sigmund Fruity Cake. What did you call me?
It's all right. Mario's just on whatever else the screaming people on the New York subway are on.
By the way, if I ever do drag, I want my name to be Fruity Cake. I've decided.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For some reason, see also lack of budget, the show loved reusing actors. For example, this specific actor, Larry Gelman, shows up again in the show as a Vincent Van Gogh parody whose last name I am not comfortable saying on mic.
Yeah.
So the shtick with Dr. Sigmund Fruity Cake is that he speaks in a German accent and tries to tell jokes, but can't think of jokes because they're improvising on a deadline. I also want to say, relevant to every story we're about to tell, summarizing these plots, in 1989, the year all 64 of these live-action segments aired, Captain Lou Albano, to promote the show, did an interview with Regis and Kathy Lee where I can't find a clip, I can't find a direct source. Some say he showed up with a shaved beard. Some say Regis and Kathy Lee shaved his beard on TV. Until someone unearths the footage, I'm going to live in a magical world where Regis and Kathy Lee shaved his trademark rubber-banded goatee.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And that means that episode aired live in 1989. As I stated, all 64 live-action segments aired from September to...
64!
Exactly. And...
that's the Nintendo number.
Exactly. And you might be thinking, Charlie, you said the syndication number was 65. They fucking reused one of them?
That makes sense.
Tutti Frutti Mario / Tutti Frutti O Mario. I'm pretty sure they changed the title, hoping the FCC wouldn't notice, which means the entire year of 1989 must have been a mad dash to come up with 65 of these things, and they didn't even meet the fucking deadline.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I miss pre-streaming when we got like way more episodes a year, I also don't miss when studios were forced to rush out episodes and were probably putting a lot of pressure onto people.
But they put a lot of thought into the World Show and only made 13 episodes, and it's unwatchable. So I feel incredibly bad for the people who worked on this show, but fucking fun to watch.
Absolutely.
But my favorite absolute moment, other than Mario screaming because he has a concussion, which is upsetting and should not air on a children's television show.
Mario, talk to me. Talk to me. Oh, come on. All right. Okay. You're gonna be. Come here. All right, sit down.
They're just preparing them for, the reality
of New York.
Going to the club of New York, yeah.
Because they're going to get shitty trade jobs. They can't go to afford college.
They're preparing them for the concussions they will get at the workplace.
Oh, I was just saying they were preparing them for this random screaming guys that they're going to see.
Both can be true. But my other favorite moment is pay close attention when they cut to the Zelda trailer. Captain Lou Albano drops the banana and eats the banana peel, and you can see Danny looking over at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
I noticed that, yes.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen the film Wise Guys, directed by Brian De Palma, it is the non-wrestling acting debut of Captain Lou Albano. Stars Danny DeVito and Joe Piscopo. It's an aim, and in my opinion, a success to make the most New Jersey movie of all time. Brian De Palma is an amazing director who, if he's working with someone who sucks, you won't notice because he knows how to play to people's strength. So the only two things Captain Lou does in that movie is scream at the top of his lungs and shove absurd quantities of food in his face, which, like, if those are an art, he is a Van Gogh parody whose name we can't say.
Damn straight.
Yes.
I'm good at those things.
It's true. I would say the reason we brought Ray on is she is kind of our generation's Captain Lou Albano.
Oh, of course.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
Yeah,
also,
like a Mario.
It's funny because this is the second thing in a row that we've reviewed with you guys that has an amnesia plot. And like I said in the last episode, I'm normally not a fan of those, but I kind of love this one because Lou Albano just plays it so damn well and makes it so funny.
I typically don't like amnesia plots, but the reason I typically don't like them is simply not present here.
Yeah.
This is an excuse for Captain Lou Albano to scream at the top of his lungs and shove food in his face?
Yes.
No, this is an excuse for Captain Lou Albano to not memorize his lines, or quote unquote.
There you go.
No, if Captain Lou Albano is not having to do an improv scene, is shoving insane amounts of food in his face, and is screaming at the top of his lungs, you know, we're all glued to our fucking seats.
Yeah.
Oh god, what if the original script for it was Mario Mento?
And I want to point out, we never covered an amnesia episode together. That was an ape-nesia episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to talk about this one, because in a way, he kind of gets ape-nesia here, doesn't he?
He does.
He does, and then he gets chicknesia.
Wouldn't it be weird if we prepared more than one monkey episode?
If only the cat suit had been invented by this point.
He does wear a bunny suit in one of these.
That's right, yeah.
Close enough.
My father on my 9th birthday dressed up in a bunny costume for a whole week because the zipper stuck. You know, he didn't mean to do it, so he had to bump around the house, making it like a bunny for a whole week.
And also, if only the T-Rex from Super Mario Odyssey had been invented and we could just see him switch brains with it.
Honestly, if only Cappy period had been invented.
So there's a punchline to the moment where Luigi is on the phone. Where, Dr. Fruitcake is like, well, don't you want your brother to be a chicken again? And Luigi's like,
Well, to be honest with you, we could use the eggs.
and I'm thinking, Mario doesn't lay at... Oh, no. Oh, no!
Ovipositing for kids!
That's a stock joke. That's a really old one. I'm going to credit it to the Marx Brothers even if they didn't write it. Why not? Who's going to research that to prove me wrong? A lot of these jokes are stock jokes because, again, they're improvising and the people in charge do not care.
Yeah, they're probably referencing older movies because that's what they're familiar with. So.
Yeah, because these are very old men. Danny Wells was in his 40s. Captain Lou Albano was in his 50s.
Also, I love that this was from the era where you could basically reference anything without a lot of copyright because they casually drop Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that was weird to me. Yeah. Looney Tunes is just fucking part of the Mario canon now, sure.
That's some of my Looney Tunes humor. How is that? Oh my god, did you hear that Sigmund Fruitcake impression? Why was I good at that? Whoa.
That was beautiful.
Oh, shit, yeah. So, this is weird. When I was initially watching this short the other day, I was watching it offhandedly, and, you know, Dr. Fruitcake comes in, and Luigi says, "Great service!" I immediately heard it as great cervix.
Wrong type of fruit factor.
We didn't do the episode where the very first line of the series is Captain Lou slurring his words while saying, "Thank you, Luigi."
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, have a little piece of spaghetti on your overalls.
Luigi.
I've listened to that a million times. He's slurring his words and is saying, like, thuck, like, kind of not pronouncing thank all the way. Didn't say the N. It's like thuck, like he's slurring his words and didn't say the N. So whatever they do when someone flubs a take is they put the sound effects or laugh track so loud you can't hear it instead of do a second take.
I will say if there's one thing I'd remove from the show, it's the laugh track. And maybe I'm biased just because I'm not a big fan of them, but I don't know. I think the show works on its own fine without it.
It's strategically there so they don't have to do a second take.
Very true.
Yeah.
And then we get into what I was talking about earlier with how this does not have an ending, because literally how they fix this is just Dr. Fruitcake tells Mario to say words. And that's what fixes it. He tells him to say, I am not a chicken, I am not a monkey, and then that's it.
And then it just cuts to them doing the Mario.
Oh no, before that, it turns out that Luigi is a chicken now, even though he didn't hit his head. What are they even on about here?
I like the bit where Fruity Cake says, repeat after me, say these words, and he keeps making animal noises, and then he just yells it louder like a parent who's being disrespected, and Mario gets scared and repeats the words, and that's how they cure him. That's actually really funny. That's a wonderful moment by Captain Lou. Again, screaming. You get the guy screaming, everyone's having a good time.
I am not a monkey! I am not a monkey! I think that you are cured. Oh, thanks, Doc.
Absolutely. Then we go on to Gorilla My Dreams, which took me too long to realize that was a pun on Girl of My Dreams.
I didn't realize that was a pun at all.
The funniest part about this, Ray, is 2 weeks ago, we watched an episode of the Donkey Kong segment of the Saturday Supercade called Gorilla My Dreams. You asked me what the pun was. I explained it to you. That was 2 weeks ago. Well, probably more than 2 weeks ago, but let's say two. Yeah. So you saw it a second time and were like, yeah, I don't know.
Not a good pun. Why did they use it twice?
The amount of primate-related subplots in this show makes me think they really wanted to put Donkey Kong in this show.
100%. I actually secretly was getting a concurrent theme going, because we have a Thinks He's a Monkey episode, we have a Becomes a Dog episode, and we have 2 gorilla episodes. I was masterminding this a little behind the scenes.
Hell yeah.
So, Ray, what happens in Gorilla My Dreams?
Okay, so Mario and Luigi are getting ready to go to a costume party with all the plumbers and plumettes. I need to specify they called them plumbers and plumettes.
Yeah, they get a shout out on the radio.
It's called the Plumbers Ball.
Girl plumbers don't exist.
Again, these are improvised, so that means the voiceover was recorded later, which means Danny Wells improvised the plumettes joke, and then they just threw it in again when they recorded the voiceover.
Yeah. Okay, so there's 2 rules here. There cannot be any girl plumbers, and plumbers do not wear ties.
It's true.
It's true.
Take your damn clothes off!
Mario and Luigi need to try on their costumes, but Luigi left his in the car, so he goes to get his gorilla costume. But at the same time, the radio says that a gorilla broke out of the zoo, so just a real gorilla comes into the house and beats the shit out of Mario.
So SpongeBob ripped this episode off.
In all fairness, I cannot blame Mario for thinking that's Luigi in a costume, because he points out the fact that the suit looks like shit.
It does look exactly the same. I can't really...
Not really. They're 2 different suits.
You know what? The fact that Deke put in the work to get... That's surprising from Deke.
Yeah, like the real quote-unquote gorilla has like this giant fucking head that is actually like kind of unsettling to look at.
Yeah.
But not as unsettling as Luigi's mask, which looks almost fucking humanoid. And I don't even think that's Danny Wells in the suit.
Meanwhile, Mario's bunny costume is just pastel overalls, and he looks adorable.
It's very cute. And he does a little hop, and it plays the Mario jump noise, and it's cute.
Yeah.
They should make that an actual outfit for him in one of the games.
Yes. Then what happens when Luigi comes back?
When Luigi comes back, Mario is like, hey, why did you beat me up? And he's like, what are you talking about? And then the gorilla comes back. And Mario can't tell which one is Luigi and which one is the gorilla, even though one of them talks. It is very clearly Luigi.
There's a rule in improv. I studied at the Upright Citizens Brigade, and there's a rule called address the unusual thing. And Danny Wells coming in with,
how many times have I got to tell you? I'm Luigi. I'm the one that talks.
It's just like a mastermind move.
So Mario makes a point to say that he was picking concrete out of his hair for an hour and a half, and there's no fucking way Luigi was gone for that long.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to park in Brooklyn?
Touche.
And also, I am so glad I didn't watch this episode as a child, because the SpongeBob episode with the gorilla scared the shit out of me as a kid for some reason. Even though as an adult, I acknowledge that's one of the best endings ever.
I was fully expecting the gorilla to just decapitate Mario, just like gruesomely rip his head off.
Is it implied that Luigi is gonna fuck that gorilla?
Yes. I was like, whoa, he's bisexual. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we forgot to explain the ending. Luigi and Gorilla go on a date to the ball.
And we didn't do a whole lot of dancing, if you catch my meaning, Mario.
That's incorrect, though, because they tangoed.
I know.
Luigi made espresso sexual before Sabrina Carpenter.
Hey, Mario, check out me shaking my S.
Also, I fucking love that Luigi never just thinks to just take off his mask.
I have a feeling that Jordan Peele watched this as a kid, and something in his brain just clicked.
Yes!
I believe that all media is in some way based on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and I can prove it.
Yes.
Do it.
The gateway animes, the transition from Japanimation as something to fill time slots to a major United States fandom. There were 3 shows in the 90s. Does anyone know what they are? They're universal answers. We know the answers.
One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach?
That is the 2000s.
Absolutely not. It was Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, and Pokemon.
That is correct.
Oh, right. Sorry, my brain.
So let me go over who brought the 3 of those shows to the United States. Dragon Ball Z was Saban, as in Haim Saban, as in Power Rangers. You know, the guy who's leading the genocide that's happening right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, organizing. My bad. Saban, prior to having his own studio, was a composer for cartoons, including, but not limited to, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and he was also the international distributor for the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which means where did he get the idea to import Dragon Ball Z? Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Okay, who did the first English dub of Sailor Moon? That would be Deke. Bada bing, bada boom. Who made Pokemon? Nintendo, the entire anime fandom, and thus...
Well, Deke originally wanted to do an American cartoon adaptation of Sailor Moon, too. It's very fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but this is where those 3 companies... Well, not Nintendo. Nintendo's a different story. Nintendo was course-correcting, like, let's not do this again, let's make Pokemon better, but... those other 2 companies, where they got the idea to buy up Japanese licenses cheap to fill airtime was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Mic drop.
But yeah, I just fucking love the chaotic energy of this episode. I like that it's that one Tom and Jerry cartoon where the lion escapes and gets sent to Tom and Jerry's house, but even more insane.
Yes.
Wasn't this a Donald Duck short, too?
I think so, yeah.
A lot of these are stock cartoon plots, but I think this is the non-scripted one, because we'll get into the ones with the guest stars, that comes the closest to achieving what I'd call comedy.
It's so funny to think that Mario and Luigi's adventures don't truly start until they end up getting isekai'd into the Mushroom Kingdom, because it would be so fucking funny if they were just telling Princess Toadstool and Toad, like, oh yeah, here's all our crazy adventures we went on. All the celebrities we met, all the random animals that broke into our apartment.
Princess Peach just looks at Mario and says, who the fuck is Cher?
She knows who Cyndi Lauper is, though.
Obviously.
She knows who Billy Vanilli is.
Did you know that episode of the Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 show came out a week before they had their Grammy taken away because it was found out that they did not record vocals on any of their songs?
Oh god, yeah.
No.
The timing there. Also, please watch that episode at some point if you can.
God.
Millie and Vanilli, or whatever the fuck their names are, clearly went to the Tommy Wiseau School of Acting. I was going to say Magic Johnson School of Acting, but, you know, they had a couple teachers. It's some of the worst voice acting of all time. It's so funny. When I watched it with Ella... of Mystery Jack Look Back, she made me rewind.
No! We're nerds!
We're dweebs!
This is terrible! You turn us back to normal people right now!
Over and over again.
I love that in the Mario segment of this, they actually credit the guy in the gorilla suit, and I'm just like fully expecting, oh yeah, so Craig Armstrong, he actually is a well-acclaimed gorilla actor.
Oh, you don't know the fucking half of it. Do you know who the production assistant was that supposedly played the plant? I don't know if he would have been able to be credited under this name while playing the plant in one episode, unless it's the same one. SAG rules. Then again, no unions in Canada. The production assistant on the live-action segments has the name Patrick Dempsey. He might be one of several people with the name Patrick Dempsey. No word on this. IMDb says it's the same guy.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow, going from this to Enchanted. I love that.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
It's probably the other Patrick Dempsey in quotes. But until Patrick Dempsey, either one comes out and says it, Occam's razor states, look.
Huzzah.
Someone's got to ask him now.
So speaking of Cher, Charlie suggested such an amazing one for me because I was kind of struggling to pick. And as soon as I read the title, I was like, that has to be intentional.
Why would you call a program for children Cher's Coochie?
Also, yes, I did make a bunch of Simpsons jokes with it. When are they going to get to the pizza transformer factory? When the other characters aren't on screen, they have to say, where's Mario as Poochie? Also, the dog that plays Poochie is such a good boy.
Oh, yeah. So 3 shorts in, and we finally get our boy Edison, and... yeah.
Yes.
And some other stuff happens, this, that, whatever. But we got our boy Edison.
Yeah, this is the only episode he shows up in, if I recall correctly.
Of the 5, yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be my last tangent, I promise. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
there's one more later, but okay. So that's not Cher. That actress is not Cher.
They lied to me. Those sons of bitches promised me Cher.
So there is another episode where comedian Pam Madison as herself loses her dog and needs the Mario Brothers help. The best guess I could have at the mad dash to make 65 of these is they had Pam Madison, they had an animal trainer. They were like, fuck, we're behind schedule. Pam, do you do any impressions? I could kind of do Cher. Okay, do you have a black wig? Okay, cool. Bring the black wig here. Okay, good. Action.
This isn't Cher. This is Chair.
My favorite part of this episode is when Mario is just like, whoa, stay here, doggy, stay here. And the dog is just like sitting on the floor the whole time.
This dog literally does not move, like, ever, which I guess is not shocking. It's an English bulldog. That's kind of just what they do.
Also, it's not a bad Cher impression, but I do notice she randomly gave her a southern accent, which, okay.
So,
I don't know enough about Cher to know that that's incorrect.
How can I forget? My shower still runs the dishwasher. Snap out of it!
I love when Luigi opens the door. I love the stupid pun they make. It's not like you have a date with Cher or something.
He opens the door. It's Cher!
I was expecting her to say, come on, Luigi, let's make 2Ouija the hard way.
So I love that the Mario Brothers are either incompetent plumbers or incompetent rocket scientists. Yeah. Because they make this supposed pizza transformer. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to do.
They never explain what it's supposed to do.
No, it switches bodies.
It wasn't supposed to do that, though. What was it supposed to do?
It was supposed to transform pizza!
Into what?
Damn, I want pizza, but it's already like 9:30. And, nothing's gonna be open except Domino's.
By the way, some episodes do plug Domino's at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
They should have had the Noid as a guest star, I think.
Hey, it's us. We're 2 guys from Brooklyn. You know what pizza we love? Domino's.
Yeah, in my pick specifically later on, you can see in the trash boxes of Domino's pizza.
We always say trash is the best form of product placement, but yeah, no, they made a deal with Domino's. Animation takes a while, so these were done after the cartoons, so they didn't have this deal yet. So his favorite food switches at some point, because it's pasta in the cartoons, but it's Domino's Pizza, order today, 30 minutes or it's free in the live action.
You know what? Pizza, pasta, they go together. Put them in a box.
It's true. So please explain the madness that then happens with Cher's Poochie and Mario.
Oh, before Kit gets into that, there's a moment where he tries to get the dog to calm down. Mario's like, here, Poochie, stay. And I'm just expecting him to say, here, Poochie, stay and watch these scenes from the next Legends of Zelda.
Wonderful. And also, I want to point out, it seems a recurring thread is Luigi gets action. Luigi gets laid so much.
Luigi fucks and he fucks hard.
It's canon.
That's like accurate to real life.
You know what? I'm just going to say it. Danny Wells Luigi can get it.
It's
yes.
True. There is not a single Luigi who can't get it.
Thank
Exactly.
you. Thank you.
It's also funny because this was kind of the era where the way Luigi was treated could kind of vary in the games. Like sometimes he was treated a little harsher than he should be, which is why so many stupid people think Mario hates him. And it's like, no, if you actually look at a bunch of the modern games, he loves his brother and wants to protect him. Fuck you.
Luigi would have been in 3 games at this point. Mario Brothers for the arcade, Super Mario Brothers, and Super Mario Brothers 2. Like, this is not that successful at IP by the time they jumped on this.
So whenever he gets a win in this show, I'm just like, hell yeah, brother. Okay, so this plot is insane. So Cher randomly comes over and asks them if they can watch her dog.
And they hint to like a previous encounter between Cher and the Mario Brothers, which I looked it up to see if this happened in the show. It did not.
Yeah. You know what? She just knows them. She can do that.
No, it's just Pam Madison in universe pretending to be Cher.
Exactly.
Why do famous people go to this plumber only? Is there just no other plumber in Flatbush?
Also, if it's their house, then why do they need to go all the way over to the actual business? Like, couldn't they just have them travel? But that would have been too many sets.
It's true.
So then Mario decides to show the dog the pizza transformer, but it all goes wrong and causes him and the dog to switch bodies.
Using the best 80s in-camera strobe effects that money can buy, baby.
Yeah.
and you know, if you're hanging out with a dog, they really love to see what kind of tech you got. They're real techies.
Yes.
I love that when Luigi runs in with the pizza that she signs, he says, she signed it right here with the mozzarella. But just the way he pronounces mozzarella is just, it will never not be funny to me.
That's how actual Italian New Yorkers pronounce it.
Oh,
holy
cool.
shit, really?
Yes, no, we're from New Jersey. That's how Ray's mom says it. Like, Danny Wells is from Toronto and is Jewish, so he just did his fucking homework.
Base.
Hell yeah.
The thespian.
And also when he pulled out the pizza that was signed by her, I was expecting Mario to say, great, you poisoned our only food for the week.
I think she signed it with ketchup because the signature's like red and has dimension to it.
Oh, okay.
No, she just pricked her finger and signed it with her own blood.
It don't mean anything to me, Luigi.
Also, when I said I wanted Puppy Boy Mario, this is not what I meant.
It's okay. I would do that if Cher approached me too.
Super Mario Brothers Super Show Walk so Pet Play could run.
I know. So this is where they make a 56-year-old wrestler walk around on his knees.
Great. It's good stuff. No notes.
So I love that they can dub Captain Lou's voice over the dog, but they just do not bother to make the dog's mouth move at all.
Yeah.
They just take video of the dog just licking its mouth and says, yeah, that's good enough.
It highlights how fucking awful he is as a voice actor versus an on-camera presence.
Also, we gotta talk about the fix joke. Oh my god.
Look, Poochie, I mean Mario. I mean you without the fur, whoever you are. I know you want to go out, but first I gotta get you fixed. Okay, ho, bad choice of words.
The only Nintendo licensed reference to Luigi cutting off Mario's testicles.
God bless the 80s.
Spay or neuter your pets today.
Fuck you, Bob.
It's a little known fact, but Gendy paced his new movie on this segment.
100%.
Also, I love that the show is improvised, but they had enough time to make a shadow puppet of Captain Lou Albano Mario chasing a cat that you can see in the window.
I love those shadow puppets. Those are so
god,
cute.
I fucking love practical effects.
The live action segments, if you cut out the animation, are like 3 minutes long total. They have all these things they built into the set, puppets, doors for Edison to come out, these shadow puppets, that just never fucking play into anything, usually.
Yeah. Also, I love that everybody's able to just kinetically understand Mario because Luigi is, then Cher is, and thinks at first it's just Poochie speaking to her, but then she's like, ah! And also before that, the dog in Mario's body jumps all over her, and she makes a joke about how he probably does this with every girl.
Also, the Mario head that's used for transitions comes out of Pam Madison's skirt. Implying that there was an upskirt, and again, we don't do second takes here.
You know what? I feel like Cher herself would approve of that joke.
So I love the scream that Cher lets out when she realizes what's going on. It's just so raw as fuck.
Speaking of Cher and jokes like that, the best tweet in the history of X.com or whatever it's called.
You can just call it Twitter.
Someone tweeted at Cher, inappropriately, sit on my face, and Cher responded, sit on your own damn face, I'm busy!
Yes. Also, the scene where Cher ends up swapping bodies with the dog is funny, but it would have been even funnier if that was somehow what turned them all into pizza randomly. Like, oh, now it works.
You should have done Punch Up for this show that didn't have writers.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine the pizza puppets. Those would be so good.
Yes.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi are turned into pizza. Cher and the dog just eat them, and it just ends there.
Hey, Luigi, Jesus Christ of Nazareth is at the door, and he says there's a problem with his sink. Wait a minute, Mario, are you telling me it's the rapture? No, I think it's the faucet. Laugh track goes on too loud and too long. There we go.
Oh my god. Mike, animate that, please.
Also, did you guys notice that in their little pockets, the tools they have are so random? Sometimes there's a highlighter, sometimes there's a toothbrush. It's just like whatever production assistant Patrick Dempsey could grab before they started filming.
I love that.
And he was like, this is so demeaning, I should go into acting.
Yeah, real.
So one thing that confuses me, and I know that I'm probably thinking way too much into this, so how come the dog in Mario's body keeps Captain Lou's voice, but Mario and the dog's body also has Captain Lou's voice?
A wizard did it.
Luigi refers to the dog in Mario's body as Mario, too.
Obviously, this is the beginning of the Lou-pocalypse, the singularity where we are all the guiding light.
Oh, okay.
All right. So for me, my short that I picked was a no-brainer. You know, when I think of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and just how batshit of a show this turned out to be, this is the quintessential one for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you one of the greatest crossovers in animation history, defective gadgetry.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
Yep, my Inspector Gadget 99 loving ass had to go there.
No! I gotta get out of here.
Hell yeah.
The Inspector Gadget theme song is proof that they should have stuck to writing music and not do genocide.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the Inspector Gadget theme plays non-fucking stop throughout this short.
Deke owns it!
I know, but still.
Chief, is that you? Yes, sir. I'll be there as soon as the Mario Brothers fix me up.
I love that there's technically a lot of fourth wall breaking in throughout the show, but this is the first one where we get Mario actively looking into the camera and just saying, how does he know?
Yeah, because Luigi is somehow a fucking psychic when he's able to predict that someone answers the door.
There's so many running jokes that they don't fully utilize, but yeah, Luigi always says, can you get that, please? Not always. Sometimes. Much like Mario's catchphrase is sometimes. Oh! Luigi sometimes before the phone, but the pizza phone. By the way, did you notice that their phone is just sitting in a gross old pizza?
Oh god, yeah.
They should have used that as the pizza puppet for when they get turned into pizzas.
Hey, Mario, they turned me into a pizza. I'm Pizza Luigi.
Funniest shit I've ever seen.
You want a pizza, Luigi? Get it?
If the question is whether the amazing Pee-wee's Playhouse-esque prop and set department made a realistic-looking pizza for that phone, or production assistant Patrick Dempsey just let it rot under hot studio lights and have all the guest stars smell it, I don't want to know the answer.
I would hate to be in the room with that thing. Good God.
Question.
Yeah?
Do you like penicillin on your pizza?
So Inspector Gadget comes in and he complains that his gadgets aren't working. And already off the bat, he's pretending to have the hammer that Inspector Gadget typically has in his sleeve, but then it just falls out and you see his actual hand. And I'm thinking, yeah, no wonder why his gadgets aren't working. The show just doesn't have the budget for them.
Whose actual hand is that? That's Maurice LaMarche, the brain himself, got his voiceover debut as the Chief and a bunch of other characters in the original 80s Inspector Gadget. Here, doing an, frankly, let's say, perfect Don Adams impression.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they actually did want to get Don Adams for this.
And Maurice LaMarche also, if you've seen Get Smart, he's not just doing the voice. He is doing his mannerisms when on a sitcom camera.
Yeah, it's funny because I haven't seen a lot of him off camera, so it was kind of bizarre seeing, oh, he's a person and not just a voice.
He was really hot in the 80s, and when he got to do voiceover full time, he got to let himself go, and he is so fucking proud of it. Like, when people talk about his live action career at panels, he'll like show off how fat his stomach is and how gray his hair is. He hated looking hot.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Also, I just love so much that now Mario and Luigi are just surgeons. Well, he's not technically all human, but still.
In a way, what is an Inspector Gadget but a plumbing of some sort?
So did this predict Dr. Mario, or was Dr. Mario already out?
There was no Dr. Mario. This was not a brand at this point.
Gotcha.
There was Mario. Okay. There was barely Mario 2. It might not have even been in English yet.
Oh, okay. So it might have predicted it then.
Yeah, no, this absolutely is where Dr. Mario comes from. Let's just say it.
Hell yeah.
You know what? Yes.
And Maurice LaMarche has been the voice of Inspector Gadget since Don Adams passed. So there's also, all media comes from this show. Patrick Dempsey got his start here.
Yeah.
You know what we should talk about someday? We should do an episode on Inspector Gadget's last case.
Yes! Oh my god.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard Inspector Gadget was based on a failed Lupin the Third pilot.
Yes,
I can see that.
I mean, that makes sense because it's animated by TMS, but so Inspector Gadget is like the only original property that Deke ever created. But I put original in strong fucking quotes because he is just Inspector Clouseau, but voiced by Maxwell Smart, so if we're ripping off two things, that counts as original. And I guess also like RoboCop or whatever.
And Zenigata.
Yeah.
I remember, like, in the Bob Saget era of America's Funniest Home Videos, they did a parody of RoboCop that was called RoboCook.
Oh god, yeah.
It was like a chef that got into a gruesome accident and became like this fucking RoboCop. It was so weird. I gotta find it one of these days.
This has nothing to do with killing Mega Man.
Yeah.
Also, one of my notes is his ass is not cleaning his hand when Mario is just sticking his gloved hand into the ringer bucket they have. I'm just like, motherfucker, you gotta take off your glove to wash it.
Also, Mrs. Periwinkle's goldfish is from another live action segment.
Oh god, yeah.
That's a callback, the implication being that they killed it.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so that's the first body count in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yes!
And it's implied that there's going to be a second one because Luigi tells Mario to put gauze in his ears, in case Inspector Gadget starts screaming.
Yeah.
Which is dark.
Can Inspector Gadget feel pain? That's kind of fucked up.
I would imagine so.
Go, Gadget, morphine drip.
Also, when Gadget is all in pieces on the table and he's looking pissed, I'm just expecting someone to say, "Oh, cheer up, sir. It's not like this is Inspector Gadget 2.
Yeah, with the worst dummy that I have ever I can't even call it a fucking dummy. It's literally just a pile of clothes and a hat on the table, and there's literally not even a head.
And if we're ranking best live-action Inspector Gadgets, then, like, I don't know if French Stewart or Matthew Broderick are in second, but it's not a close second.
Yeah.
Hot take, French Stewart's Inspector Gadget was good, he was just in the wrong movie.
There we go.
And that's another thing, too. Like, they do, like, a poor job of just hiding the dummy that they're using in the background. Like, you can actually see it on the table already fucking mangled.
Yeah, it's so funny.
You expecting Andy Hayward to spend money on things?
No.
Fair.
Most of this skit is about slinkies.
Also, it straight up implies that the Mario Brothers did not bother to put him under or turn him off. I don't know how it works, but yeah, it's assumed that he's not put under for the operation, which at least the 1999 movie had the decency to put him under when he was basically having all of his essential organs removed and replaced with knickknacks.
I don't think Mario and Luigi know how to do that.
They do. You just gotta give him the old bonkers from Yonkers in the head.
So when they finally put him back together, they say that they were missing a few parts, so they had to go to the novelty store. And I was half expecting Gadget to look into his pants and realize, my god, they replaced my dick with a can of snakes.
Wowzers. Hey, Mario, looks like the inspector's got some rubbers on hand. And then Luigi takes out one of Inspector Gadget's balloon testicles and accidentally pops it.
Amazing, amazing. By the way, he states a novelty store on 33 and a third,
Oy.
which is a very, very New Yorker thing to say because, again, did his fucking research. But I also did my research, and I was like, out of curiosity, what business is actually on 33 and a third? That would be a bar called the Flying Cock, so you're not far off.
Close enough.
Wowzers.
33 and 3rd, wouldn't that be near Penn Station, too? Because Penn Station is 34, right? It's on the corner of 34 and...
Yeah, I think it's on 7th, though, and avenues are longer than streets.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys got fucking New Yorkers for this one. That's a 20-minute walk. It's about 1 mile.
That's like a normal walk in New York.
Fun fact, I've only been to upstate New York. I need to go to the Big Apple one day.
As Ray and I would tell you, I'm walking here.
But yeah, this might be my favorite Tied with the Sheriff's Poochie episode just because it's absolutely bonkers.
From Yonkers, if we're being honest.
We forgot to mention the fact that the short ends in carnage because it turns out that they gave Inspector Gadget rocket shoes that he didn't know about, and
oh
no! I'm just saying it, he fucking killed those people.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
Go, Gadget vehicular manslaughter.
And then Keith is just fucking pissed.
Yeah. No, this is not the first vehicular manslaughter in the Mario live actions, because in the Sergeant Slaughter episode, he gives him a call and says he's running late, there's traffic on the Brooklyn Bridge, but he's fine, he'll take a shortcut. And Luigi goes, you can't take a shortcut on the Brooklyn Bridge. And he says, you can if you're driving a Sherman tank.
Oh God, I remember this.
Well, I mean, they're trying to drive in New York City, so that's to be expected.
It's true.
And it's also not the first time an Inspector Gadget would commit vehicular manslaughter, cough, cough. If you know, you know. We forgot to mention, too, that after this sad carnage, the Mario Brothers just laugh.
Yeah. It does seem that this was the hit attempt.
Gadget makes a far better drone than a cop.
Oh my God!
Great job, Gadget. Your country is proud of you.
Yo, Gadget PTSD.
We also forgot to mention brown bricks.
In Minecraft.
Well, there are brown bricks on the set, so there you go.
God.
Yeah. Oh my God. That gadgetry was defective.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't even afford at least a single jump cut to include a gadget. That's just pathetic.
Yeah, it's corny and it's definitely low budget, but like I said, it's so bonkers that they just managed to pull it off.
From Yonkers, if we're being honest.
Yes. And it's not the only time Inspector Gadget appeared on the show.
That's right.
Because he also appeared in another short, The Treasure of Sierra Brooklyn, which for the longest time was actually lost media.
That's right.
That is correct, because it was recently unearthed, but yes, I remember when it was announced, I was like so excited and I sat down to watch it, and then I was like, oh right, these suck, I forgot. Why was I excited about this? But like I said, the big guests are always, the ones they want the kids to sit down for are always on Fridays, which means they surround the Zelda cartoon, which made sense when this was airing every weekday. But in redistribution, putting live-action Mario segments around the Zelda cartoon doesn't make any sense unless you give, like, a long explanation. So they just didn't ever re-air the live-actions from Fridays. Some of them got released on DVDs. Some of them didn't. So I believe at least 2 of these for a very long time were only available on a Swedish and German DVD, respectively.
Yes.
But yeah, so the plan of putting Zelda cartoon on Fridays and still doing the live-action Marios doesn't make any sense. Didn't ever make any sense. I wish they got Cynthia and Jonathan to dress up as Link and Zelda.
God, yes.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
Hey, you know what? Why not take it a step farther and just have someone in horrifying cat-style Heathcliff makeup?
Yes!
There you go. You're getting into Koopa's cool cartoons territory.
What about Ganon's great Gartoos?
Say what you will about the evil wizard Ganon. He's got some great cartoons.
He does.
I think Ganon would have been a better host than Koopa. I think he would have...
No, Ganon at the Triforce of Power, who is like roasting him the whole time. He's like, I can't with you.
So, Randy, we got to learn about our last short with its insane plot. So, why don't you go ahead?
Perfect for last, because this is definitely the end of the series, the transition. I'm done being Mario, back to being Captain Lou Albano.
Exactly.
Yep. So this one, they actually got the celebrity that they got in it.
Yep.
This is the one with Cyndi Lauper, where they break the fourth wall and declare Captain Lou Albano a missing person.
Who, by the way, was best friends with Lou Albano in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, he was her dad in Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So,
And they play a snippet of Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
It is insane that they licensed that.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what? Cindy does so many favors for Lou. I bet she gave it to them for free.
oh yeah.
So Cyndi Lauper's manager was a big wrestling fan, and they ran into Lou on a plane, and he's like, "Oh, we gotta meet him," and they hit it off like immediately.
Hell yeah.
Less than a minute, I'll just go into Captain Lou, Cyndi Lauper history.
Oh, go right ahead.
Wrestling is Captain Lou's only job since he was in his 20s. Part of wrestling is the trash talking, is going to Mean Gene's microphone and screaming about how you're going to win and your other guy is awful. Captain Lou got so good at the trash talking that he got to stop doing the physically exhausting part of the job. They're like, do not do any damage to this man's perfect mind.
Yeah.
You know, I saw Bob Backlund out here making an interview. The man had tears in his eyes, crying, telling you all about his little baby in nursery school. Telling you about his mama, his daddy, and his wife, saying, should I wrestle again? Excuses, punk. You couldn't take it before. We hurt your ribs, we maimed you, near breaking your ribs, and this time we will break them. This time I guarantee that Captain Lou Albano will be the manager of the next Worldwide Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion.
Please, listeners, look up him on Letterman. Letterman does not get a word in because I say he's bad at like scene improv like this, but when it comes to improvising monologues, there are Captain Lou and there are imitators, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just make sure this guy's body does not go bonkers from Yonkers.
So they came up with the idea of a wrestling manager, which is basically a character that shows up and trash talks and then leaves before people start hitting each other. Because it was like, he's too good at this one part of the job. Do not make him do any other parts of the job. And again, if you look up that Letterman interview, you'll be like, yes, that's correct. Also, because manager is like, doesn't require wrestling, technically anyone could do that job. No one could do it as well as Lou. But he was like, how do we follow up Girls Just Want to Have Fun music video? Celebrity fucking feud. So Captain Lou would manage the heels and Cyndi Lauper would come on to WWF and manage the faces.
Yes.
This all culminated in an event known as WrestleMania 1.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That was the conclusion of that story arc.
That is a fucking domino effect. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Yes,
and
it
also,
is.
I don't know if this qualified as a part of it, but there's this one clip that I fucking love of Cyndi Lauper and Roddy Piper getting into a fake argument because he wanted to play the dad in those Girls Just Want to Have Fun video.
Yes, Roddy Piper hosted a talk show inside the ring as a segment on WWF, and that was part of that.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yeah, and Cyndi Lauper's acting is so fucking good in this segment, can we say?
Yeah, it really is.
Honestly.
Yeah.
She's a good screen presence, even if she's doing the voice that she's doing in the Pee-wee's Playhouse theme.
No, I think that's her voice.
Is it really?
That's kind of just her voice, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing voice, but it's hers.
Yeah.
That's why they're best friends. Those voices need to be next to each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes.
It's the voice of a gay icon.
Oh, yeah. Kinky Boots with Harvey Fierstein.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And one of Captain Lou's shticks was he would claim he wrote Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And because, the goal of a heel is to get the audience against you. So he says, yeah, no, she didn't have anything to do with that. I wrote that because that's all girls know how to do,
I love that the entire world just goes fucking insane because Captain Lou Albano is missing. Like, even Russia is teaming up with America to find him.
This is basically like the JFK assassination part 2.
And this is 1989, so it can be assumed that over a mutual love of Captain Lou Albano, the Berlin Wall fell.
That's right. Oh my
Yeah. Yep,
Oh, yeah.
he did it. If you don't tear down this wall, you're gonna go to hell before you die. Please, Mr. Gorbachev.
I mean, the only problem there is that we all know David Hasselhoff threw the first brick.
If I can change, and you can change, everybody can change.
Also, it says so much about Reagan's competency that Cyndi Lauper could find Lou Albano, but he couldn't.
Yeah, true.
He didn't fucking look. A gay icon calls up Ronald Reagan. He's like, oh wait, no, 89 HW was president.
HW.
Yep.
But that's just Ronald Reagan part 2. Like, that's his VP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lesser-known sequel to Ronald Reagan.
We can still blame Thatcher.
Exactly.
Can still blame Thatcher.
She didn't find him either.
Vivian's baby will be a pauper! Oliver Twist! Jeffrey Dickens! Back to Victorian values! I hope you're satisfied, Thatcher!
Also, at the end, Captain Lou Albano says Mario's sometimes catchphrase, uh-oh, and Luigi has this look of like, hold on a second. So the implication is the reason Captain Lou is missing is because he's Mario now, which, like, is so many layers of complicated.
Yeah.
It's like the Santa Claus.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The Mario Claus.
You put on the overalls, you're the big guy, baby.
Also, I love that Cyndi Lauper's speech is,
I don't know, Luigi, but we can't give up hope. No matter where Captain Lou is or how bad things are for him. No matter what shape his toenails are in. I just know he'll be okay.
and they're all just applauding.
I love this one. It comes through how much she really genuinely cares about him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They just have such good chemistry in the little scene they
do.
share as well.
I love that they throw shade at Jim Neighbors for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because Mario's talking about, like, giving the search party, like, Jim Neighbors tapes or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because no standards and practices ever watched this show, they could just throw shade at whoever they want.
Yeah,
That's
you,
right.
Jim Neighbors.
Yeah.
Jim Neighbors' lawyers are not going to sit down at 3 or 4 in the afternoon and watch the fucking elderly Italian plumbers for children show.
Or will.
It's true. It's true.
I love that this show can afford product placement from Domino's, but they draw the line at KFC.
Yeah. It's probably because they probably wanted to stick to Italian food to product place, but even still, they make a joke about Luigi being Southern fried in the chicken episode, so why not?
Yeah.
I played bass for Southern Fried Brother.
I'm hooked on the Southern Fried Brothers. You should check out some of their tapes. He plays bass very well. But no, it's because Pepsi owns both Pizza Hut and KFC. So KFC's the competition. They're being paid by Domino's. They don't want to give advertising to the competition. So Patrick Dempsey's solution is to just print out a picture of Captain Lou Albano and paste it over the Colonel's face. I was just getting lunch at LFC.
I love that Lou Albano just follows his own missing posters to the place, and it's like, oh yeah, I can just break into this random business, no big deal.
Yeah.
If you don't know anything about Captain Lou Albano, it seems like there's a plot hole, which would be, how could he be eating fried chicken long enough that all of this would be going on internationally? Watch Wise Guys.
Yes.
There's a 20-second scene in that movie where he drinks a tower of lobsters.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Okay, I got
Oh my god.
Me for real.
Oh, I mean, Danny DeVito, Harvey Keitel, same director as Scarface, Phantom of the Paradise, Carrie. Watch it, yes, please.
Hell yeah.
I think my favorite part of this short is that at the end, like, Cyndi Lauper does not know what to do at the end when they're doing the Mario.
Oh, it's so funny. It's like, why are we doing this? Does this constitute a dance? I guess we're pointing now. Her sarcastic facial expressions are everything. She's like, why are we doing the Mario?
Do I have to do the Mario?
She doesn't understand that it's gonna be the next big thing.
I was always a little disappointed they never actually showed the group doing the Mario together instead of just cutting right to the credits after it.
I mean, they're swinging their arms from side to side. What else is there?
That's close.
Oh, they forgot to take one step.
They should have had Captain Lou and Mario doing the Mario together.
Yes!
This was like some Penelope Tate, Amanda Bynes shit.
This is some Superman Clark Kent shit. You know, without the rubber band in his beard.
Here's what they should have done. They should have had Captain Lou in his Captain Lou outfit. He's wearing the Mario mustache and the goatee. There you go.
There we go.
And the hat.
There you go.
And the hat.
He should have taken off a fake goatee, like pulled out the rubber bands, the goatee falls out and winked at the camera.
Yes.
And lets us know that we're going to go to hell before we die.
Please.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Captain Lou and not Mario.
It would have been hilarious if when Luigi's lamenting that Mario didn't get to meet Captain Lou, you just see him in the background just changing out of the costume.
All right, so let's go into our verdicts. Charlie, Ray, would you say that you give this a keep the tapes, donation box, or burn the tapes?
It's saying keep. Why would you ask that question?
Yes, keep. Absolutely keep.
Yep, absolute keep for me as well. There is just such an endless charm to these shorts that we may never get ever again, and I just fucking love them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Keep. Like, of course.
They can be hit or miss. Please watch the miss ones. It's some of the most batshit insanity that's ever been put to television.
Absolutely.
There's one called 2001 A Mario Odyssey. Yes, origin of the title Mario Odyssey. In which there's a pizza computer, and my favorite moment from that is it starts producing crazy pizzas to try to kill them. And
I almost picked that one, honestly.
You could have. And my favorite joke from it, though, is he goes, that's showed at the pizza they have at the store, says Mario, and the HAL 9000, which I think is just called HAL because they don't care about being sued. Lawyers will not watch the show if you make them.
They should have called it PAL, though. You know, like
they might have.
Region.
Wait, isn't that the robot from Thousand Year Door?
No, his name is Tech, but yeah, he is the HAL 9000.
Got it.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So anyway, Hal says, it's golf pencil pizza, Mario. Mario shrugs and goes, no use wasting good pizza, and almost like kills himself eating golf pencils until Luigi slaps it out of his hand. These are improvised, so Captain Lou was going for it, and he would have been fine.
So what you're saying is that we need to do a part 2.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Honestly.
Oh my god. And I already gave you all my tangents, so I will actually let you get words in next time. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
We still got words in, I think.
Yeah, we still got a good amount. And Randy, Tyler, what about you?
Keep the tapes. God, these shorts are just so much fun. There's really not much else I can say. I just love the charm that they have. They're so much better than the animated segments. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Keep the tapes, put the animated segments in the donation bin, burn the Zelda cartoon.
Other than Link being a creep, I think the Zelda cartoon had like one writer and more consistent animation, in my opinion. I think that's part of why it was on Fridays. They're like, let's save the good stuff for Fridays. I like the Zelda cartoon. Yeah, no effort was put into either the animation or the live actions, really. But the difference is if there's no effort put into animation, you can fucking tell. You'll notice. Versus in an improvised segment, if there is no prep time, but you have Danny Wells, you're not going to care or notice.
Exactly.
Also, the live action segment does not have a scene where Koopa says, I want my feet licked.
No, nor a scene where Toad brags about the biggest hypodermic needle he's ever seen and provides no further context. Or, obviously, the milking.
But the live action segments don't have an episode where Toad does not learn to be less selfish.
The episode in which Toad does not learn the meaning of Christmas is fantastic. I pointed out that the final episode of the show aired December 1989. That's when Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire aired.
Oh my god!
That means Simpsons, because we have a Homer Simpson impression in my web series based on this show, Well Abridged Me Princess. Just look up Well Abridged Me Princess, you'll find it. We have a character who has a Homer Simpson voice. Don't worry about who voiced him. And I was like, oh, this is anachronistic. These shows didn't exist at the same time. They were a whole 3 weeks apart. That doesn't feel correct.
No, not at all.
If I were to summarize the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, it's the last dying gasp of the 80s.
Absolutely.
The Simpsons was coming out 3 weeks later. The 90s was starting, and they were like, not yet, it doesn't. We're hooked on the brothers here. We're going to open with a theme song that's clearly a ripoff of the Beastie Boys, and we're going to do the 80s.
Absolutely.
Damn straight.
Because gorillas just want to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
This is what's missing from 80s nostalgia cash grab movies, is this energy.
Exactly. So thank you so much for joining us again. This was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
This has been a long episode. We've been talking about the show for 2 hours. We could go on for another 2. We're not proud or tired.
I love that we're all just so neurodivergent that this is our lives, and I love it.
I want to end us on, well, obviously, until next time, do the Mario. But the implication here is that until the next time you watch an episode, you have to be swinging your arms from side to side and doing one step and then again. So I hope you all have built up your stamina, because I don't know when you guys want us on for part 2.
We'll just swing our arms from side to side, and then we'll something.
In the 80s, they called swinging your arms from side to side, taking one step and then again doing the Mario. Nowadays, we call it walking.
Okay, do you have anything you want to plug?
Everybody should watch Princess Night. I don't know. I don't have anything to plug, honestly.
Totally fair.
I'm going to plug Well Abridge Me Princess, which is my web series based on this, as well as my Super Mario Bros. Super Show Out of Context videos, also based on this. I have a Discord notification server. What I've done in the past is irrelevant. Please support my career as it continues forward. I got a lot of cool things in the works. An original audio drama podcast
Hell yeah.
is coming. I'll link you that so you can link in the description. And then also I want to plug a podcast that I guest on frequently. It's one of my favorite podcasts to guest on. I actually found it through you guys' server. In Each Retelling.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's a celebration of the public domain and all that entails. I was alerted to the fact, in your server, that they referenced me a lot in their coverage of Once Upon a Time Season 1.
Wow.
I've been talking to them ever since, and we are finally, this week, as of this recording date, it might already be out, who knows, covering Once Upon a Time Season 2. I have a lot of binge watching left to do this week. I wish it was the Mario live action.
But there's no dwarf eggs in Mario.
Also, my fascination with this show led to a general fascination with wrestlers. So when my comedy partner, my podcast co-host, Ella Cesare, needed a subject for her senior year thesis at School of Visual Arts in New York City, I was like, something about wrestlers and a stupid reused sitcom plot. So please check out Slam Poet. I did the sound mixing, I helped with story ideas, and I voiced the wrestling announcer, and the amazing, talented Ella Cesare animated it, and this is just based on the two of us learning everything we could about Captain Lou Albano and his colleagues together.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I am no longer on social media except for Letterboxd and Discord. You can find me MuppetVision_3D on there. You can find me Muppet Breakout on Discord and various servers. And you can find me trying to make a sequel with Ned Kincaid.
Hell yeah.
You can find me as MCR Rocks with an X on Blue Sky. I haven't really been on there as much, though. I am also same username on Space Hay and on YouTube. And you can find me trying to figure out what parasite causes the trains to have faces.
And also I'm where Shemer is, which is jail. No, I'm kidding.
And as for me, you can find me on the usual spots, Tyler FG on Twitter, Tyler FG96 on Blue Sky. You can find the show at Channel KRT on Blue Sky, Channel KRT Podcast, all one word, on Instagram. And we also have our Discord server and our Facebook group, which you can find in the link tree in our Blue Sky bio. And if you want to help support us, we have a couple options. First off, we have our Patreon, where you can find exclusive minisodes, outtakes, and episodes of this very podcast at its earliest convenience. And you can also check out our Ko-Fi, where we also have exclusive minisodes and outtakes, but you can buy those individually for $5 a pop. Or if you just want to donate to us, you can. And of course, thank you to our pals Paul Spicknall, Tony Goldmark, Ashley Hines, and Chris Reyna for pledging to us the $10 level. And a huge thank you to our executive producer, Gomer. All right, Channel KRT, do the Mario.
Just for gays.
And our part to lose shirt keying out? Did nobody catch us beforehand?
Hey, do you have any idea how hard it is to find a Hawaiian shirt without any blue or green on it? No, you don't. You wouldn't know because you got the brain of a dehydrated baby. I feel so good. I feel so fine. Billy, Billy, Billy.